Welcome back to Soma Psyche. So this will be our demonstration that goes with the last video that we did on interoception. So I'm going to do a pretty short and simple demonstration with Caleb around feeling into your own heartbeat. Almost all, not all, but much of the research on interoceptive awareness and interoceptive ability has actually been done on sensing your own heartbeat. And they do a lot of measurements on, is that actually accurate? And the results are very fascinating. But the nice thing about our heartbeat is that it's something that we have no control over in a conscious way, and yet we can feel it regularly. Some people can feel it much more than others. So today we're going to find out, Caleb, can you feel your own heart?
I hope so, but I'm open to if it doesn't.
I promise it's still in there, even if you can't feel it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a little something to try to increase that sense a little bit, and you guys can try this at home as well. Personally, I find this incredibly soothing. It's sort of a stress reduction technique as well. And we can do this with clients. I find that there's a lot of natural containment that happens. Now, if we have somebody that has health anxiety or has had panic attacks in their history, they probably would not benefit from this as much because of those associations. But for a lot of clients, this is a pretty quick and simple way, number one, to teach them about interoception, practice interoceptive ability, and also to find some natural regulation just with their own body.
I was going to say, you saying that makes me think of biofeedback. And the power of biofeedback is almost that with awareness comes a sense of regulation.
Yes.
That just seeing how your body is naturally modulating and orienting then gives way to a regulatory experience.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of biofeedback clinicians would be like, this makes total sense.
Yep.
Like I do this every day.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the ways that I turn this into a meditation practice for myself and my clients is that as we're being aware of the beat of our own heart, simply adding the mantra or the repetitive phrase, my heart is beating. And saying that over and over to ourselves, it's tremendously soothing and regulating. To be with the sensation, the interoceptive awareness of the beating, the steady rhythm of our own heart, and just acknowledging my heart is beating. Ugh.
That makes me want to do this all the more.
I know, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So you ready?
I am.
Okay, so what I'll offer is, if you guys are trying this at home, I've asked Caleb to lean against something. What I really recommend is that you do this lying down. But for the purposes of the video, or if you can't lay down for some reason, just support your back so that the core of you can be relaxed. When we have more activation in our core muscles and in our chest, it's slightly harder to sense into what's happening in our organ system because the activation is in our muscular system when we're sitting up like that. So do you feel nice and relaxed?
I feel pretty relaxed. Yeah.
So I'll have you put your hands kind of down to your side. Yeah. Perfect. Nice flop.
Just a nice flop.
That's exactly
you
right.
Tell them a 9.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. So go ahead and close your eyes. And without any attempt to do anything yet, just take a couple of deep breaths and sort of seeing that as a cleansing moment. Just going back to neutral as much as possible. And when you feel ready, I'll invite you to take your attention, your conscious awareness, and imagine moving it into your own heart. And beginning to explore, can I feel what the organ of my heart is currently doing? Can I sense the beating of the muscles of my heart? How and do I sense the contraction, the squeeze, and release? So Caleb, I'll ask you to describe, can you feel it? If yes, how? And if yes, How much can you sense it? Is it hard? Is it easy?
I don't feel it like a fullness. It's just like a little bit like what I think is the bottom of my heart, and then the left side of my heart into my rib cage. And it's almost like you're feeling something through like a big comforter. Like you can feel it, but it's soft.
Yeah. There's a muffled quality.
Muffled,
yeah. But the sensation that you do have is more on the bottom and over to the left into your rib cage. Yeah. So now we're going to do something to see if we can increase that sensation a little bit. I'll ask you to take your awareness to your hands. And I want you to squeeze your fists as tight as you can and then release, and do that about 10 or 15 times, just rapidly, really squeezing the muscles, getting some activation into your lower arms, even your upper arms, and as you can up into your shoulders as well, squeezing in, contracting all of those muscles. And then we'll do one last final squeeze and hold it. Keep holding. And now release. And now take your awareness back to the center of your heart. And just notice, can you sense anything different?
The pacing feels different. It's not as fast. It's so interesting. Like, I want to go into a story, but like I wanted to say it's not as fast as I thought it would be. But just a slight increase in speed. Still muffled.
So being with just the interoceptive awareness, the sensation, and seeing if you can turn up the volume of your awareness there just a little bit. How does your awareness grow just a little bit as you hold focus there?
It's almost like a space. Instead of being like on the outside, it's like I'm on the inside. Is where my mind went.
So there's a feeling of moving from the surface of your heart more to the inner workings of your heart.
Yeah, like I'm on the inside looking.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. So I would be very curious to move into story with you about this, but we're not going to.
Deny it.
Deny it. Just for this purpose, we're going to leave it just with that simple awareness of I can feel into the surface of my heart and beginning to get a sensation of the inside of my heart.
It reminds me of like in the focusing video, like demonstration and stuff. It's like the transition into the inside of my heart still feels very murky. I would want to spend much more time like feeling like that zone before saying this is what it's like to be inside my heart.
Yeah. So there's a sense of curiosity and invitation to spend more time there.
Yeah. And like weirdness. What is this?
New territory.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So you can go ahead and release your attention. Thank you so much for trying that with me.
Yeah.
Hope it felt fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I felt my heart at many times, very aware of it, and it was interesting that it was very muffled. It's different.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's fun to spend time with the sensation of our heart when we're not anxious or when we're not overly caffeinated and conscious of our heartbeat because it is increased. But actually spending time with it when it's just kind of in there doing its thing, just taking care of business for us.
Finding a lot of curiosity around that it wasn't. I had a very like precise moment of being like, oh, it's not beating as fast as I thought it would. I was like, and I feel like there could be a million beautiful stories that could be written about my heart didn't go as fast as I thought it needed to, but it still kept me alive.
Yeah, you couldn't resist the story.
I couldn't.
It just, I just slip it in there.
It's right in front of me.
We'll talk afterwards, I promise. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this little demo, and please try this and try it with your clients. It's super safe for most clients unless they have, some connection to heart rate that is challenging for them. But it's a great and simple way to kind of introduce bodies to being more aware of our internal workings and what it feels like to get in there and sense things. I actually tend to start with this kind of practice for clients that struggle to sense their emotions in their body, because this is less laden and less difficult for them to approach than approaching something like fear, panic, grief, despair. Approaching just the beat of my own heart that is present with me all the time is a much more neutral foundation to work with and eventually work up to some of those more challenging sensations. So we hope this was helpful, and we will be back next time with another video about one of the ceptions.